like it's about to do in just a few minutes here. And the last time a total solar eclipse was seen from anywhere in the U.S. was 38 years ago. The date, February 26, 1979.
This is an ABC News special.
Not until August 21st, 2017, will another eclipse be visible from North America. That's 38 years from now. May the shadow of the moon fall on a world at peace. And ABC News, of course, will bring you a complete report on that next eclipse, 38 years from now.
Now, in just minutes, it is finally here. For the first time this century, it's lights out, hands up. We're glowing in the dark. For the first solar eclipse to hit America in 38 years. And we're right there with your ultimate cosmic block party, celebrating all across the path of this historic solar eclipse, live coast to coast. It's the Great American Eclipse, and the sensational journey starts right now. With David Muir reporting from inside the path of totality in Charleston, South Carolina.
1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Hello, everyone, from Charleston, South Carolina. Our team is live across the country at this hour. You know, that was World News Tonight anchor Frank Reynolds promising 38 years ago we'd be back to cover this total solar eclipse. And here we are, and proud to be here. And there it is again. Let's go live to the sun just over Lincoln City, Oregon at this hour, about to be eclipsed by the moon. And if you look at the lower part of your screen there, you can see the clock. The key here is 1:16. That's our first max totality that we'll see. It'll be coming from Oregon. Watch the clock. We'll be going live to our team there. You know, this whole path of totality is going to create a shadow 70 miles wide on the ground. And as that shadow moves across the country, it'll carve a path 3,000 miles long. And listen to this. It'll take just an hour and 33 minutes for the eclipse to cast that shadow traveling coast to coast. That shadow moving at an average speed of 1,800 miles per hour. That's more than 3 times faster than a commercial jet. The total eclipse will span across 14 states this afternoon, ending its journey just north of where I'm standing right here in South Carolina before heading out to sea. And in just a few moments, the moon is going to pass directly between the sun, the earth, completely blocking all light and creating a black hole where, of course, the sun should be. And as it happens, the temperatures in that shadow could drop an average of 10 to 12 degrees. We're going to see what happens with that today. Millions of Americans, of course, are waiting right now. And the closer you are to that center line right there, right through the middle of that shadow, the longer you'll be in complete darkness known as totality. But it's fleeting, lasting up to 2 minutes, 40 seconds or so. 12 million Americans live in this path of 100% totality. But look at how far that eclipse spreads to the north and south of that line. Hundreds of millions will see some version of this eclipse today. We are in this together. We know many families have already traveled toward that center line where they will gather in small towns, farms, and national parks, all to watch this extraordinary sight. We have an entire team of ABC News correspondents and cameras coast to coast live as the solar eclipse moves across the country. And if you are one of the millions who traveled to see it or will see it right in your backyard, your neighborhood, we want you to be part of this special with us. Share your pictures, your videos with us, and we're going to try to get as many on the air as we can throughout the next couple of hours. Just go to our website, abcnews.com, and you'll see right there how to do it. We can't wait to see what you capture. So why is this happening today, and why is it so rare? Take a look at this. The Earth rotates on its axis, making a full turn every 24 hours. The moon circles the Earth every 31 days, and the Earth and the moon then rotate around the sun every 365 days. Keep in mind, the sun is 400 times larger than the moon, but it's also 400 times further away. And at that distance, it makes the sun and the moon appear to us to be the same size from here on Earth, which is why the moon completely covers the sun when their orbits intersect. A total solar eclipse happens during a new moon, when the moon moves directly between the Earth and the sun. This perfect alignment, which creates a total solar eclipse, occurs about every 18 months. Usually we don't see it because 70% of the Earth's surface is water, and it usually happens over our vast oceans or remote areas of other countries. In fact, it's been 99 years since the last solar eclipse was seen across the entire continental United States, and it won't happen again until 2045. We have waited long enough, that's for sure. So get ready. It's coming, and you're about to see it all live right here on ABC. Again, the time right now, 1:04 Eastern. The first totality happens at 1:16, max totality from Oregon. So we'll take you there live. We've got so many questions. First, of course, the weather, the clouds. Where will we see it best? Where will it blow our minds today? Where will the clouds break our hearts? I see a few of the clouds here in Charleston, but I'm going to keep my fingers crossed here. Let's bring in meteorologist Ginger Z. She's in Nashville, which, by the way, the entire city. It's the largest American city to fall right in the path of this total eclipse. And Ginger, you've been looking at the weather across that entire path, that ribbon across the country.
Oh, that I have, David. Such an important forecast, probably one of the most important of the century, truly. But what I wanted to start you out with, not only is Nashville the biggest city in the path of totality, I'd venture to say it's the biggest party. Look at this. We've got rooftops full here along Broadway, Lower Broad as the locals call it. You can see them all the way down the streets, all the way right here. Check out all my friends. This party on the rooftop at the iconic Tootsie's Bar is just beginning. Our partial eclipse only just began. And I got to tell you guys, we have a lot to talk about in the way of weather because it is a huge day. Let's start with what it looks like in the Pacific Northwest. It is brilliant. They're already seeing a lot of that eclipse. I want to show you some of the cloud cover. Looking good through the Rockies and Idaho there into Wyoming, but then it gets a little mucky. Once we get into Missouri and parts of Nebraska, you can see the storms blowing up. And then as we go back through the Tennessee Valley, we just have those daytime heating clouds. Scattered storms at the coast, where you are in Charleston, David, but I have to say, no matter what the cloud cover, the party, the celebration, the unity of America, and this beautiful celebration of science, the science that I have loved my whole life, I can't geek out more than I will today. David, let's head back to you.
Yeah. Really, no question. We needed this moment of unity in this country, and nature's wonder is giving it to us. I want to look at this picture that I'm seeing coming in live from Oregon. You can actually see the sun and the moon almost completely covering the sun now. And keep in mind, 116, of course, is that key moment when it'll be in total darkness there. The first hint of darkness falling, of course, on the shores of the Pacific coast. The totality of the eclipse, 116, 10:16 Pacific, minutes away. It's going to last 1 minute, 58 seconds, and then we're on the move from there right across the country. The shores lined with families at this hour. Meteorologist Rob Marciano back in a part of the country he spent years covering. He's in Lincoln City, Oregon. And Rob, you've got the glasses, you know, we all do here. And
Yes, on the first ball put in play, he puts it out of play.
And that's a high fastball on the outside corner, and he gets on top of it and launches it.
The glasses they've been giving out really across the country, they look cheap, but they are mandatory viewing. They block out 99.9% of the solar rays, but you can see this eclipse in its entirety. So it's nothing short of spectacular. I gotta say, when you see even the partial eclipse across this country, you want to take it in. It is the Great American Eclipse. Hey, Suzanne, and Willie, where are you? Hey, there's another way to watch this if you don't have these glasses, and that is to make a pinhole projector. I found these guys in the parking lot, and you got, what, a shoebox and then what else?
Shoebox, paper inside, tinfoil, and a pinhole.
And it works. And Willie, your mom was a physicist, obviously inspiring you to see this, your first eclipse total?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're pumped.
Yes, I'm pumped.
And they got the glasses and the box, so just, you know, just varieties of spice of life. Hey, go Ducks. Go Ducks. What do you got? You got the welder's glasses?
Yes.
All right, so that's serious business right there. Can we see how they look on you? Oh, yeah, they're styling. You are styling. Are you excited for the eclipse, sweetheart?
Yes.
All right, they're going to come fast and furious here. We are just a few minutes away, David, and the clouds that have been fickle here along the Oregon coastline. It's not the ideal spot. That's why we don't have a massive crowd like they do in the deserts, but we have seen enough of that partial eclipse to get fired up, and we are awaiting totality, and we're just seeing enough of a clearing to, I think, see it in just a few minutes, David. It is exciting. Isn't that exciting, guys? Woo! 1776 was the last time we had a coast-to-coast eclipse totally, exclusively to Americans. How much more American can it get? This is the Great American Eclipse, baby. I hope you all take part of it. David?
Thank you, Rob. We're going to come right back to you in just a couple of minutes so you can show us what you're seeing. And I just want to say, you know, we've all got these glasses here, and you can see the setup here and all these bright lights. I put these on, and you see nothing. So when Rob says, you know, put the glasses on and test with the light on your iPhone, that's a really good indicator that, you know, these glasses are probably approved and you're in good shape. So here's the question. What's it going to be like? I thought we'd check in with someone who has experienced it before. Bill Nye, the science guy, you know him. He's the CEO of the Planetary Society, the author of the New York Times bestseller, Everything All at Once. He's at the Homestead National Monument in Beatrice, Nebraska. And Bill, no question in your mind this is going to change people today?
I hope so. It's already started here. We can see it if you have the special glasses. It's getting dimmer and dimmer as the moon comes across the disk of the sun. And just notice something that I got to say I didn't expect. Are you guys excited? A lot more people than I anticipated are excited and anticipating this event. In other words, you can feel the excitement building even though we're just a few percent into the occlusion, into the eclipse. It's really thrilling to see so many people excited about this science.
I want to ask you what's actually going to happen when darkness falls, because a lot of people wonder about that temperature drop, anywhere from 10, 12 degrees, animals being confused, wildlife perhaps, and you'll be able to see, a number of planets and stars up there. So pretty significant change in that tiny window of darkness that we're going to witness here.
Well, it becomes night. So it's cooler at night than it is during the day. The birds and insects act as though it's night. And so what happened here in Beatrice, the clouds just cleared, and people are all putting on their special glasses and looking skyward, because I guess the eclipse is really apparent for this moment. We would turn the camera up toward it, but, oh, yes, the moon is coming across from, on a clock face would be about 1:30, 2 o'clock, moving from upper right to lower left as we perceive it here in Beatrice, Nebraska. And it's just an exciting thing, everybody. Just think about the diligence of astronomers who were able to predict this eclipse within less than a second. And here we are gathered to celebrate our understanding of what I like to call our place in space, our place in the cosmos. It's just an exciting thing that the clouds cleared at this moment.
You're absolutely right. A reminder of where our place is in the cosmos today. Bill Nye, stick around with us here. We're going to be talking to you as the afternoon progresses here. We want to go to Carbondale, Illinois, dubbed the capital of the eclipse because it's right in the area. This is really incredible, where totality is going to last the longest and where it will return in a few years from now. We'll talk about that in a bit. Dr. Lucianne Walkowicz, an astronomer at the Adler Planetarium in Chicago and the incoming chair of astrology at the Library of Congress. Dr. Walkowicz, first of all, I love this because you study this, you know more about this than any of us out here, but it's still your first eclipse?
It's my first eclipse. I've seen a couple partials, but I couldn't be more thrilled to be here today in the path of totality in Carbondale, what they're calling the crossroads of the great American eclipse. This is really a special thrill for me, especially after years and years of studying the kinds of things that we'll be able to see with our naked eye when the sun is in totality.
Dr. Walkowicz, we're going to be checking back in with you as the afternoon progresses. She mentioned Carbondale, by the way, is going to be the longest max totality. That's about 2 minutes, 40 seconds. Some have said 2 minutes, 41. But that shows you how quickly this is going to move. One of the best places to experience the eclipse just maybe Madras, Oregon, billed itself as a solar town, hoping for the best eclipse watching weather in the country. They are pulling out all the stops for an expected crowd of 20,000. ABC's Matt Gutman is joining the party there, as he always does. Matt, the crowd is really enormous. I've seen the traffic jams for people all weekend long trying to get there.
20,000, David, just here in what's called Solar Fest, but a spectator I spoke to had a different name for it. He said this is basically Woodstock for nerds. Now, you can see there are thousands of people arrayed here. There are tent cities in the background over there to the right. 5,000 tents over there, 4 people to a tent over there. There are campers. There are 100,000 people who have inundated this area. By the way, Madras population just under 6,000. So an amazing spectacle here right on this cow farm that has been converted into the world's prime viewing site. NASA is based here as well because this place should offer the most unobscured sight right into that eclipse. It's almost so near that I can look into the sun. The one hitch is that there have been wildfires in the area, and I think you may be able to see Mount Jefferson off in the distance. The top of it is obscured by that blanket of haze and smoke, but still, where I'm looking almost directly at the sun, it is pretty close. Everybody here's got their glasses. These folks drove 9 hours with a family of 7 in a van. You guys ready? They have their glasses on. And people celebrating all sorts of things. There's a guy who's going to pop up the question to his girlfriend. Shh, don't tell. There are people celebrating birthdays. Folks over there drove over from Boston, but you can sense the enthusiasm in the crowd. It's getting nearer and nearer. It's almost there, and you can already feel the temperature drop, David. Pretty amazing.
Well, I hope she says yes, and I'm glad she's there and not at home watching. Otherwise, you know it's coming. Anyway, let us know what she says there. And, Matt, we love seeing that sun shining brightly on your face. That means they're going to have a spectacular sight right there. They already have a spectacular sight, Oregon. So let's get back to meteorologist Rob Marciano. Again, Lincoln City, Oregon. Total solar eclipse will be the first visible in the United States. 1:16, about a minute, less than a minute away now, Rob. Tell us what you're seeing.
And it's getting dark, David. It is so spooky right now, right? The temperature is dropping. The excitement is growing here. I hope that we're going back and forth to the special camera that has this eclipse, and I've got to put my glasses on to witness this. We've just gone completely dark, at least by the way we see it here. Oh, no, still a sliver left. Is it the diamond ring? Would that be the diamond ring, perhaps? Just a sliver left. A little more. There it is. We have reached totality here on the Oregon coastline. Total eclipse of the sun.
Just an incredible sight, Rob. We're looking at the corona of the sun, the atmosphere of the sun.
It is incredibly dark. It looks like night has fallen. The clouds certainly exacerbating that, but this is beyond twilight. It's a spooky, spooky experience. What do you have to say? What does it feel like?
We came from Los Angeles just to see this with my nephews. We drove all the way from Los Angeles.
What drove here from Los Angeles?
Yeah.
That is commitment, baby. Welcome to the Oregon coastline. How's it feeling right now seeing your first eclipse?
It's amazing. I love it.
And we need the lights to see all this. We need the lights. I got to check it out one more time, David. Oh, my, it is just absolutely spectacular. Look how dark it is, how quiet it is. The air is still. This is like being in the eye of a hurricane. It is spooky. It is spiritual.
I gotta tell you, Rob, America is watching this
surreal.
with you.
It's amazing.
And when you see the corona around the sun there, Rob, the atmosphere of the sun, talk us through the science of that. I mean, that's hotter than the sun itself. It's millions and millions of degrees Fahrenheit.
It's, you know, you're talking about, thousands of degrees Fahrenheit, but what we're seeing right now is the corona. The outer atmosphere of the sun, which we don't get to see any other time. This is why scientists are launching balloons. This is why they got their telescopes out. This is why they're so jazzed about this, because we're able to see things that we don't normally see, with the exception of the eclipse. Yeah, exactly. She said there's something coming out from it. It's almost like you can see some solar flares coming out. Bailey's beads is something we saw earlier. You know, the moon is not completely smooth, so we're seeing some of the outer edges of the sun come through those valleys and over those mountains, and that's why you see that kind of this star effect now. And different colors are happening right now. It's unbelievable. Oh, the diamond ring! We're starting to see it. We're starting to get out of totality now, David. That was our 2 minutes of ecstasy, quite honestly. Unbelievable.
Yeah, this is extraordinary. To let people know at home how we're pulling this off with our photographers. Yeah, Rob, I just want to let folks at home know how we're pulling off the technology of this. You know, the photographers operating these cameras have to slide in a lens, if you will, into the camera to shoot up. At the beginning of it and at the end, but during totality, they can actually pull that out. So that's why you're seeing some of the shifting shades there on your screen. But Rob, now we're seeing on the other side here what happens. It's almost the exact reverse. And you talked about those Bailey's beads shining down, coming through the valleys. That's named after Francis Bailey, who first figured out what that was.
Exactly. I mean, you know, so much of science, the terms and names that we rattle off are pioneers that discovered them, or were in some process out there making things happen. Now the sun's coming out. It's getting brighter. It's getting a little bit warmer. It's hard to describe what it's like. David, the rest of America is going to experience it now, fast and furiously. Back to you.
In fact, they are right now. Let's go to Madras, Oregon, where Matt Gutman is standing by. Remember, Matt was just under blazing sun a moment ago. Matt, talk us through it.
It's hard to. I'm almost speechless. The crowd here is absolutely ecstatic. I'm going to have our cameraman, Glenn, turn down the lights so you actually get a sense of how... Turn it off, Glenn. Let's see how dark it really is. It's pitch black here. This is the most incredible thing I've ever seen. Right now, we're looking at the corona that's 1,000,000 degrees, so much hotter than the surface of the sun, just about 6,000 degrees. You can see it right there. You guys, I'm going to come back to our folks here. I mean, you guys drove 9 hours.
Oh my God! Is it so worth it?
You know, this is the second most beautiful thing I've seen in my life.
Is that the first?
Well, I was thinking this one here, you know, but...
That's a smart husband right there. Did you notice that? That is wisdom at work. I want to bring you over here to a friend of mine I met. Aria goes to... This is spectacular. Aria studies astrophysics at Pomona College. Aria! She drove here from Boston, David. Drove a car from Boston. That's 3,000 miles. Is it what you expected?
No, it's absolutely amazing. It's so dark out of here. It looks like a sunset over there. It's amazing.
And you can notice that the temperature has gone down substantially. There's so much less radiation here bouncing up and heating us up that it's actually chilly. Folks are in their sweatshirts, David.
We got sweaters because we knew it was going to drop something crazy over here. And so now we're warm and fine, right, Carmen? Yeah.
Right, Carmen. Wow, this is a spectacular sight, David. This is something that so many people didn't expect to see. There are lights in the distance. There have been jets flying right by the corona. There are airplanes in the sky. That must be an incredible sight. Just beyond the teepees, you can see them. And this is lasting for 2 minutes and 4 seconds because we are right in the crosshairs of that totality. It is happening right here, and you can hear the cheers from the crowd as people watch that corona just radiate out. Now, it might have been clearer had we not had those forest fires nearby, but still, that is a pretty exceptional sight that so many people here didn't expect to see. We have folks with their telescopes out here. I'm going to try not to interrupt them. He doesn't want to be interrupted. What do you guys think?
This is pretty cool. It looks like it's nighttime. It's like a sunset, like all around. It's pretty close right now.
And what's astounding is that it continues. Now we're getting the diamond ring effect right now. The sun is slowly being taken out of the shadow as the light increases markedly. You can see it's like someone shining a spotlight on this field. There are thousands of people here. David, 100,000 people just in this part of Oregon outside of Madras, feasting their eyes on a spectacle that many of us will never get to see again. Back to you, David. This is a pretty remarkable sight
Just
here.
incredible. 10:22 Pacific time there. You're looking live at Madras, Oregon. That's Matt Gutman and the team. And let's go back to that shot if we could. We literally saw it go dark there for about 2 minutes' time. That was their max totality. Now the sun has come back out. We are less than 10 minutes away from our next moment of max totality in this country, so we're going to take a break. The Great American Eclipse, our coverage continues live right here on ABC right after the break. We'll be back.
This is not a cloud. This is a tomato tracked from farm to table on a blockchain, helping keep shoppers safe. This is a financial transaction secure from hacks and threats others can't see. This is a skyscraper whose elevators use IoT data and AI to help thousands get to work safely and efficiently. This is not the cloud you know. This is the IBM cloud. The IBM cloud is the cloud for enterprise. Yours.
When my smile's bright, I feel ready to shine. Some whitening toothpaste only removes surface stains, but Colgate Optic White High Impact White is different. It has hydrogen peroxide to whiten 4 shades for a visibly whiter smile. Trust your smile to Colgate Optic White. I do.
My trainer didn't believe me that Trop 50 could taste so good and still have 50% fewer calories.
Can I stop, Jane?
No. Trop 50 tastes so good you won't believe it has 50% fewer calories.
He sees things and analyzes things in ways that we can't even begin to understand.
He saved his life. Who are you? I'm Dr. Sean Murphy.
Mystic Timbers, the new thrill ride at Kings Island, is full of surprises. From twisting turns into hills and dives that fight gravity. Through a dark tunnel, the unexpected is waiting. But none of it will prepare you for what's in the shed. It's the all-new Mystic Timbers, and it's like nothing you've experienced before. Save up to $22 at Kroger or at visitkingsisland.com.
When shopping for flooring, don't be fooled by free. Bigger isn't always better. At Flooring and Beyond, there are no hidden costs, and they can almost always beat the big box stores on price. Give them a chance to save you time and money. Flooring and Beyond, downtown Miamisburg.
American Idol is back on ABC 22 in 2018, and we're giving 5 local singers a chance to win a front-of-the-line pass at the American Idol Bus City Stop auditions in Louisville, August 30th. Come show us what you've got at Miami Valley Center Mall in Piqua, August 26th from 11 to 3. Celebrity judge Alexis Gomez, a top 16 American Idol finalist, will be on hand to lead the judges and offer first-hand advice. Full contest details available online. Brought to you by these sponsors.
The Jeff Schmidt Auto Group wants to buy your car, but what if you still owe money on your car? No problem. Say it's worth $10,000 and you owe $7,000. Jeff Schmidt pays that off, handles all the paperwork, and you walk away with a check. It's just that easy. Visit jeffdeals.com and click on We Buy Cars.
I'm working forward to colleagues I call friends.
At Synchrony Financial, every employee has a unique ambition. Not just something we look forward to, but something we work forward to. We're hiring call center representatives in Dayton. We'll help you fulfill your ambitions through generous benefits, competitive wages, and work that doesn't feel like it. Apply at syfcareers.com or text SYF6 to 90206.
Synchrony Financial is more than a workplace. We're a working forward place.
Live coverage of the Great American Eclipse. We're glowing in the dark. Here again, David Muir.
And you're looking right now at pictures just moments ago in Madras, Oregon. Just an incredible sight as that total solar eclipse swept in over the Pacific Northwest. And think about this. When the moon shadow began traveling, when it arrived in Oregon, it was traveling at 3,400 miles per hour, and as it left Oregon, it was traveling at 2,900 miles per hour. It shows you that the distance between the Earth and the moon's a little further away, and that's why those speeds are going to change as they come across the country. I want to bring in Bill Nye as we look at those pictures from Oregon. That was just stunning. Bill, just explain to us why those speeds change and why these moments are really so fleeting. I mean, this is traveling very quickly.
Say it again. Something about why
Explain
these
to us
moments
why
are
the
spectacular.
speed of this makes these moments so fleeting. Yeah, they're so fleeting.
Why they're so fleeting? Well, you were just talking about the speed of the moon relative to the Earth's surface. And keep in mind, every time you have a birthday, you've gone around the sun about a billion more kilometers, a billion more kilometers. So in order to do that, you're going extraordinarily fast. So is the moon. So although the sun may be, in a sense, hardly moving relative to us in space, relative to the background stars, we are going like crazy around the sun, and the moon's going like crazy around us. So these things only last for a little while. You can see it's raining here in Beatrice, Nebraska. But if you really press the glasses to your forehead, you can just get a glimpse of it. And so we see a clear patch of clouds coming, and we're all excited about that. The wind is blowing it this way.
We are excited, Bill. We're watching right along with you.
But it's raining
Everyone
in
at home looking at that
Beatrice,
crowd there
people
with you,
over
Bill.
here, right?
Oh, we'll work on it. We'll work on it.
We're celebrating
in the meantime, look
the
at this.
eclipse.
We're looking live there in the lower corner, Sun Valley. You got 1 minute, 23 seconds now to the next totality. As you can see there, just a sliver of the sun remains. You can see they're actually changing the lens on the camera. That's what they have to do before they can actually show you the total eclipse. Let's go to Olivia Smith in Sun Valley, Idaho. I mentioned how quickly this is moving. We're now in Idaho. And Olivia, what are you seeing?
Hey, David. Yeah, we're here. It's getting cold up here. Everyone, are you excited? When you look up, David, you're seeing barely a sliver of the sun. Just barely a sliver up there. And the sun was hot earlier here. It was fighting the eclipse. And now it feels like nighttime, looking out over this beautiful valley that we've been seeing all day. Once cased in sun, now just a little sliver as the moon is taking over the sun. More than 1,100 people bought tickets to be up here for this event. So limited tickets. Many people taking the chairlift to get to the top of Bald Mountain.
And what a key moment this is, as you know, Rob was talking about earlier. This is the moment as the sun begins to completely disappear, when people will be looking for, you know, those so-called Bailey's bees, bits of lights poking through the canyons and craters on the roughed-up surface of the moon. That's actually what you see, the glimmering lights. And they talk about the diamond ring at the very last moment, that blast of light. And just listen to the crowd now waiting for this in Idaho.
Yeah, these people came all the way down from Jamaica. They traveled more than a day, and you're seeing it right now. Yep. Janice and your friends, what's it like? It's awesome! Oh my God, I can't believe
it's the first we actually seen a solar eclipse. We've always seen a nuclear eclipse, but it's the first we've seen a lunar.
And really looking up, it's beautiful. We're seeing the full moon covering the sun, and you're right, David, it has that diamond effect around it. And Angie and your family, you've taken your kids here. You're from Idaho. You grew up in Sun Valley. You came down from Boise. What's it like?
It's just amazing. We wanted to create something really special, and this is like incredible. It's so great. What do you think, Haven?
It's so great. I've never seen anything like it.
Okay. Again, David, people really excited. Back to you, David.
All right, thanks so much, Olivia. This is a stunning sight. Just the beauty of the colors. You know, we normally only obviously experience this, you know, at sunset, at twilight. And now so many parts of this country are going to see it turn into night and then day again within a matter of just a couple of minutes' time. Next up, Idaho Falls. You can see the lower corner of your screen. A minute 53 seconds to the next totality, and Eva Pilgrim is standing by. This is the official NASA observation site, right, Eva?
That's right, David. And they have a lot of scientists here that are actually working, because this is a rare opportunity for them to actually do experiments and to see the corona, that area around the sun that's so bright and so much hotter than the sun. They don't know why it's hotter than the sun, and they're trying to figure it out. This gives them an opportunity to actually look at it because the sunlight isn't blinding them. And we are watching this as it goes now. It's getting skinnier and darker and cooler. There's a lot of people here from all over the place. I'm going to pull my glasses up so I can talk to one lady here. This is Faye, and Faye, it's your 75th birthday.
It is indeed, and I'm here in Idaho Falls for this wonderful eclipse.
And you came all the way from LA.
We did indeed.
Why come here for the eclipse?
Because it was a totality place and NASA approved.
And it looks like we are getting right up on it. Let's look up there. It's getting smaller and smaller. We have seen a major temperature drop. I actually had short sleeves on earlier. I put this sweater on because it's cold. and you don't want to be cold out here in the middle of it. These scientists are actually rolling on this video. So they're going to have quite a bit of video watching to see. We're waiting to see if that diamond ring comes out. And then they actually told us after the diamond ring to look at the ground because you can see shadow bands. It's coming around. As the littlest, tiniest bit of the sun goes away, and we are almost literally in totality now. There it is. And at this point, we can actually look at it. Wow, you can see the light around the sun coming around the moon there. It is an incredible image to see, and the excitement from people here. Everyone on their phones trying to catch a glimpse of the totality. This is the one time that it's actually safe to look at it. And as you look on the ground, they were telling us to look for those shadow bands, and you can see some of those shadow bands on the ground now. Just an incredible sight. Completely dark in the middle of the day. Not like anything that you could ever imagine seeing, David. One of the other interesting things that they're doing,
what I have right here is that this... Yeah, go ahead.
One of the other interesting things they're doing are launching balloons with bacteria in them.
You can... I heard there wasn't a hotel room for over 150 miles where you are, Nick. You staying in one of those cars?
Listen, David, the nearest RV we could find was in Oklahoma City. So we had to drive that up from there. There is not a hotel room to be found anywhere. Not a hotel room anywhere. And, you know, a real cross-section of people here. A lot of people from the local area. A lot of people setting up crystals in the middle of Carhenge. A lot of the kind of hippie types, the new age types. We've got the bikers doing the security here. Just a really delicious, lovely atmosphere. People just getting into it. People having a great time seeing something that most of us have never seen before, and most of us will never see again. And the weather played its part. No clouds. So happy I could cry. Okay, and it's going to last here for
Nick.
2.5 minutes, which is one of the longer places.
You can get away with crying. Nobody will see it. It's almost pitch black. 9 seconds to the end of totality there for you. Carhenge, he's right in the middle of those endless miles of prairie in Nebraska.
Okay, David, we're done here. The sun is coming back. It's being regurgitated. Oh, and there's a star in the sky that we can see. Oh, beautiful. Oh.
Well, Nick, will you say hello to the folks there at Carhenge in Nebraska for us? One of the most incredible things about this whole event playing out here in America, the first, total solar eclipse in 99 years, traveling from coast to coast across this country. It's also allowing us to see these amazing places. Carhenge right there in Alliance, Nebraska, the invention of a family during a family reunion, and now look, even Nick said he had to travel with an RV from Oklahoma City to make that happen in front of his eyes. When we come back, the shadow of the moon passing through Oregon, Idaho, Wyoming, and Nebraska. There's still a long way to go. And as we go to